The stillness of the lake, a lesson on worrying about tomorrow. In a quiet village, by the side of a crystal clear lake, there lived a man who was always anxious about the future. Each day he would sit by the lake and gaze at the distant mountains, his mind filled with questions and fears. What if a storm arrives tomorrow? What if the crops fail? What if something happens to my loved ones? These thoughts swirled in his mind, growing heavier each day, overshadowing his life and robbing him of peace. One morning, as he sat by the lake with his usual troubled thoughts, he noticed Buddha nearby, sitting calmly under the shade of a large tree. Drawn by Buddha's peaceful demeanor, the man approached and said, "Master, I am always troubled by thoughts of what tomorrow might bring. My mind cannot find peace with so much uncertainty." Buddha smiled gently and invited the man to sit beside him. "Look at the lake," Buddha said. "Tell me, what do you see?" The man glanced at the lake and replied, "I see clear water, a reflection of the sky and gentle ripples caused by the wind." Buddha nodded. "Imagine this lake as your mind. When it is calm and clear, everything around it reflects perfectly. But what happens when a stone is thrown into it?" The man picked up a small pebble and tossed it into the lake. Instantly, ripples spread across the surface, distorting the reflection. The once still water became restless and unsettled. Buddha continued, "These ripples are like the thoughts and fears that disturb the calmness of your mind. By focusing only on these ripples, you forget the natural stillness that lies beneath." The man looked at the ripples and asked, "But Master, my thoughts never stop. I feel trapped in this endless cycle of worry about the future." Buddha smiled and pointed to the far side of the lake, where a boatman was rowing steadily across the water. "Look at that boatman. He does not concern himself with distant ripples or unseen currents. He rows steadily, each stroke guided by the present moment. If he loses focus worrying about the waves far ahead, he would tip over. Instead, he keeps his attention on where he is, on the next stroke, and moves steadily across the lake." The man listened closely, beginning to see the point. Buddha continued, "Your worry about tomorrow is like trying to calm the lake by chasing every ripple. Instead, focus on where you are right now, on this very moment, and trust in your ability to navigate what comes next." The man sat quietly, contemplating Buddha's words. He realized that he had been living his life like someone standing at the shore, terrified of every possible ripple, never daring to step into the boat. He understood that his constant worrying was not protecting him from the future, but was robbing him of the peace of the present. Buddha then spoke again, "Remember, the lake is always calm beneath the surface, no matter how many ripples appear. When you release the need to control what tomorrow may bring, you will find peace today." The man thanked Buddha, feeling a sense of clarity he had not experienced before. From that day on, he returned to the lake not to dwell on his worries, but to practice presence, to breathe, and to connect with the stillness within. Slowly, he found that his fears began to fade, just like ripples disappearing on the serene surface of a lake. In today's fast-paced world, many people find themselves consumed with worry about the future, from career uncertainties and health concerns to personal relationships and global events. We often try to predict and control every outcome, fearing the unknown. However, Buddha's lesson reminds us that true peace comes from focusing on the present moment and embracing the natural calm within us, instead of letting our minds be disturbed by future fears. You are watching Motivational Stories by Perspective.